the two general purpose lanes. It is just cleared out of the way. We've got a solid backup almost all the way up to the county line now, including parts getting down to 522. So it's an hour and 10 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, about a 20-minute delay over what you might expect on most Fridays. Everett to Seattle, by comparison, is running at 50 minutes. The other place that's really slow and you wouldn't expect is on the eastbound direction of I-90, trying to get from Seattle over to Bellevue. We've still got a crash blocking the right lane at East Mercer Way, back up 5 miles all the way across the water. All our travel times in 10 minutes. This report brought to you by Staples. Staples keep your ink stocked and your business moving this year. Right now, buy one HP ink, get a second at 30% off, ends 1/13. Restrictions may apply. See stores@staples.com for details. Staples, it's pro time.
Cairo Radio News, 97.3 FM.
A Pierce County deputy was involved in a shooting this morning. The deputy, unharmed, he had forced the stolen vehicle to stop and fired when the driver tried to run into the patrol car. Detective Ed Troyer.
Could have been a lot worse. We could have had somebody hit. We're right within a block of an elementary school here. Just very lucky.
He says the suspect's car was full of stolen property. The driver and his female passenger have minor injuries. We're hearing from the family of Pierce County Sheriff Deputy Daniel McCartney, who died in the line of duty earlier this week. Butte County Sheriff Corey Honey read a statement from McCartney's widow.
Losing Daniel ripped a gaping hole in our lives, and we will never be the same. There are no words to adequately describe what an amazing person he was.
McCartney was fatally shot while responding to a home break-in earlier this week. Everett's new mayor, Cassie Franklin's concerned about an increasing gang violence there.
We have community members that live in our city that don't feel safe walking down their street.
The Herald reports that in the first 10 months of last year, there was a 75% increase in gang-related crimes. It looks like there may be progress on a first fix, the water rights issue that Republicans have insisted be resolved before passing a capital budget in the legislature.
First is a 2016 Supreme Court decision that led to counties stopping new domestic well drilling and leaving property owners in limbo. Republicans demanded a fix before passing a capital budget, blocking millions in school building and other construction projects, including affordable housing. But it looks like there's hope. A compromise bill to fix HERS just cleared a Senate committee and is expected to go to the full Senate next week. The House version is also expected to go to the floor next week. Lawmakers in both chambers say they're optimistic one will pass, clearing the way for action on a capital budget.
That's Cairo Radio's Hannah Scott. Today will be warm for January. Highs expected to be in the low 50s. Mostly cloudy with a chance of showers. The chance of rain will continue tomorrow morning, and Sunday looks like it'll be a nice day, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-50s. Right now it is about 50 degrees at the Carter Subaru Studios. This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Wilcox Family Farms.
On demand with the Cairo Radio app. Cairo Radio News, 97.3 FM.
And coming up this hour, we'll go live to Las Vegas and the Consumer Electronics Show for CBS Tech analyst Larry.
Not all countries are equal. Can we just have that conversation and be honest about it? Not all countries are equal. Some countries are disturbing places to live. There is a reason why lots of people choose to leave certain countries. There's not a single person in the United States right now that is listening to my voice in Washington State or living in this country who wakes up every single day and says, you know what, I'm so sick and tired of living in the United States. I wish I could live in a third world country. No one takes that position. There's no CNN anchor who takes that position. There's no MSNBC host or Fox News contributor or New York Times writer who wants to live in Haiti or the Sudan or Afghanistan or North Korea or this whole long list of countries that are horrible places to live, that are dangerous places to live, that are led by dictators and tyrants. People do not want to live in those countries because, yes, some people believe that they are assholes, even if they won't actually utter those words, which is why we have conversations like what happened on CNN last night with Rich Lowry of the National Review and Joan Walsh of whoever knows what she's writing for. Is she with Slate or Salon, one of those? It sounded like this.
And there's something really racist, and I will say it. And the backdrop to this that we have to look at is Donald Trump is speaking to his base because he's been catching hell from his base for the last 2 days.
Would you rather live in Norway?
I didn't actually interrupt you. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been to either place. Why are you interrupting me? Why are you interrupting me?
You can't answer that question.
It's none of your business, actually.
See, that's usually what people say when they know that they can't back up their argument. I've never been to Sudan. I don't want to live there. Why? Because I know I have enough knowledge about what goes on in Sudan or in Haiti or in El Salvador that makes me know, yeah, it's not a real good place for me. There are lots of places that I know don't work for me. And I would clearly choose Norway or the United States or a whole host of other countries to live in rather than those places. Now, it's none of your business. I've never been. So I'm just trying to pretend that, oh yeah, maybe I would live in Sudan or Haiti. I've never been there. Never been. This is not racist. I've seen S-hole apartments that I refuse to live in. I've worked in S-hole studios. We use that term a lot. It's vulgar. Maybe some people find that language offensive, and that's okay, fine. If that's what you feel, that's what you feel. But that is not an indication of racism. He wasn't taking the position, at least according to the context that was provided, that they are S-holes as a result of the people who live there. Now, he did make a statement that I think needs to be clarified, because on the surface, another statement that allegedly was made does kind of sound racist. Now, it's not automatically racist without the context, but it sure as hell sounds like it's racist. He said, why do we need more Haitians? Take them out. Now, why did he say that? If he is taking the position that Haitians are inherently bad people as a result of the country that they come from, that somehow they are lazy and will not contribute to society simply because they come from Haiti, then yes, that is a racist position. That is a bigoted position, and it is 100% wrong. It's not anything I want to be associated with. I do not want a president who utters that language. However, it also may not be racist if he said it in the context of wanting people to come to the United States who maybe will assimilate more easily than others, who maybe already come to the country with higher skills. Because he said this, he made this comment in the same conversation about wanting more Asians to come to the United States. Why did he say that? Is it possible that culturally there's some similarities? Is it possible that the education level of someone who is more likely to come here from Asia than from Haiti is a little bit more educated, maybe comes with different skills? People like to remember and say, this country was born on, if you want to come here and work hard, we should let you in. Yes, but remember, those comments were made during a very different economic reality for the United States, where we had a ton of jobs that were being occupied by people with low skills and lower education as they worked their way up in society. The manufacturing industry in this country is nothing like it once was, where we absolutely wanted as many hardworking people into this country as possible. But right now, what are the jobs that are being filled? We're talking about high-tech jobs. So it would require someone who has a little bit higher level of skill than the average person you're likely to get. Does that mean we should say no to all Haitians? No, of course not. We should look at it and create a merit-based system, not a lottery system, not a chain migration system. We should look individually and judge a whole host of issues. What we should not be judging, or at least should be very, very, very low in what it is we're choosing to judge people by, is their country of origin. Otherwise, we absolutely get into the realm of racism and making decisions that we should not be making based on things that people have no control over. So on that is a problematic statement that I want to hear clarification from. I know that the president is claiming he made no statement whatsoever in any regards to that. I don't believe it. I think he said it. We're hearing from enough people on and off the record that he said it, and they're coming out publicly. This is not someone talking to Michael Wolff, giving like a little secret behind-the-scenes aspect into this. That's my take. You can vote on it at facebook.com/JasonRantShow. We've got the poll on whether or not you think the comment was racist. Go there now and vote. Let's find out what else is trending.
What's trending at the movies?
It is Friday. You know what that means? We get to talk movies. Now, I absolutely love Liam Neeson in the film Taken. This scene still gives me chills.
If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Ooh.
Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Oh! Since that movie came out, it's weird. Liam Neeson has become this unlikely action star, which is why I was so excited for at least the possibilities of a brand new movie. It's out today. It's called The Commuter. Liam Neeson plays a former cop. He's down on his luck. He needs some money. He's approached by a mystery woman asking him to conduct a simple task for her. And if he does, he's going to get $100,000.
Let's do an experiment. What if I asked you to do something that could profoundly affect an individual on this train?
I don't understand.
Someone on this train does not belong. All you have to do is find them. In the bathroom, there is $75,000. That money is yours if you do this one little thing.
I thought this was hypothetical.
You have until next stop to decide. What kind of person are you?
What kind of person are you? And obviously it turns into a situation much like Taken, where they threaten the lives of his family if he doesn't actually participate in this little bit of mystery solving. So it's sort of in a lot of ways like Murder on the Orient.
Luggage that follows you around the airport without you having to touch it? Or do you have, well, you have a refrigerator, but can your refrigerator call you an Uber? Why would your refrigerator call you an Uber? I guess you can go to the grocery store and buy stuff to fill it. Let's go live to Las Vegas and CBS tech analyst Larry Magid. So of all the gizmos there, what's your favorite so far, Larry?
Well, I think my favorite is the fact that I can use my voice to operate just about anything from a toy to a toilet. I mean, you name it. You can flush and even rinse yourself by voice and get the right temperature of the water. Voice is literally everywhere. And by the way, this is good for one of your companies. Amazon is behind much of this technology, and it's just ubiquitous. My other favorite was a little Alexa tool. I hate to say that word on the radio because I know that I'm...
That's right. Starts everybody's...
Yeah, Alexa's firing right now.
Exactly. Echoes everywhere. But I can now use it in my car thanks to a $49 gizmo from Anchor called the Viva, which just basically brings Alexa into the car. It connects to my phone and my car radio. That's my personal favorite. Only cost $49. I'm taking one home with me. So those are, and then who wouldn't want a 146-inch television? My problem is that not only can't I afford the television, I can't afford a house big enough to put it in.
Larry, I was going to ask, is there a market for this where people actually looking at the 146-inch TV?
Well, sports bars, perhaps, and very wealthy people with very large homes, maybe.
Movie theater.
No,
I mean, it's
not a
12-foot TV.
I fear it.
Exactly.
I fear it's coming to Heather Bosch's man cave. I'm going to get downstairs and see this in my house. This is my husband finds out about it. So this convention is all... Go ahead.
Yeah, I know about your man cave from Facebook, and if anybody wants to go on Facebook and look me up, you can find how I look made up as if I were Rihanna. So there's a company that has a makeup mirror, and what they do is that they have an app that lets you take a picture of a celebrity and then see how her makeup, or his, I suppose, would look on you. And I look rather absurd made up the way Rihanna does, but it's possible, and I went ahead and put it on Facebook.
This I have to see this. So the convention, all about electronics, but they lost power at one point this week. Is that true?
Yeah. I'll try to hold an electronics convention without electricity. Yeah, 2 hours. Transformer blew because there's so much rain here, and they're not used to rain here. Apparently, that somehow affected the transmitter. Whatever it was. All I know is that people had to take a break from CES. It might have been good for people. And I got to the hall right after it. It wasn't crowded, so I was happy.
The self-driving car. The latest thing is Toyota's vehicle, which is called for some reason an e-pallet, but it's like a delivery van, but it's there's no steering wheel. It's just completely automated, and you program it with the delivery stops, and it drops stuff off at whoever.
Yeah, I presume now if they have a prototype now, it would have to have a steering wheel because of law, but ultimately it would not have a steering wheel. And it would also be used for rideshare, so it could be used for delivery, and also it's kind of like a minibus. It could stop and pick people up and take them to where they want to go. Lyft, by the way, was here giving rides in a driverless car. I got in one, and it worked out pretty well, including when a pedestrian crossed our path. It actually did slow down and let the guy pass.
That's good.
The only problem is when we tried to make a left turn into the convention center, it was so crowded, the driver finally said, I got to pull this in because the car was being a little bit too conservative and didn't see that a guy had waved this on. So at that point, he took over and drove it in.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm glad they're programming him to be conservative. But on this package drop-off thing, I mean, if there's no attendant in the van, then how does it know you haven't taken more than just your package? Not that anybody would do that, but I'm just saying.
Right. It reminds me of, in the old days, there was a Helms truck that used to come to my neighborhood selling baked goods, but there was an attendant who would hand you the baked goods and you hand the money. That is a good question. How did it get from the van to your house? Maybe they have a little robot that delivers it, unlocks your electronic door, and drops it off. They didn't get that far.
on the voice-operated stuff in the car, this voice-operated stuff strikes me as a little strange because of the very thing you mentioned. If you say Alexa now, the thing lights up, and the next few words, it tries to follow your command. This could be a problem in the car unless you have a either voice recognition or a really rare wake-up phrase, so that idle conversation in the car isn't causing it to make an illegal U-turn or something.
Well, let's say you have two noisy teenagers in the back of the car. What do you do?
or the person in the back seat wants to turn right and you want to turn left. That could be a real conflict. Right now, it just controls the infotainment service, so you can use it to set your Google Maps, to play your music, or play your radio station, things like that. And I love it. I've been driving around with it. I have my car in Las Vegas, and I love that I can change radio stations and listen to music without having to do anything other than talk. That really is actually a good thing. But if they ever have it actually control the car itself, they're going to have to figure out a better security system.
I don't know, even the radio, I can hear a lot of back and forth in the car. I want to listen to this, I want to listen to Cairo. It could get messy.
Yeah.
That's right. In fact, what we should all say is, Alexa, play Cairo. That's what we should say all over the country, right?
All over the country. So, did you see a killer app, something everybody's going to demand to have?
Nothing that's that exotic that I can. I mean, I wish I could give you an answer to that, but I'm a little bit jaded in these shows. I didn't see anything that I absolutely have to have other than the 146. Now, I mean, even the TVs. I don't even want a 4K TV yet because they're not that dazzling in my home that it's worth spending the money for. So, no, I would say mostly iterative technology, a few wacky products like that roll-up screen. And that from LG, it screens kind of like a yoga mat. But yeah, I didn't see anything that I absolutely have to have, but maybe I wasn't looking hard enough.
Larry Maggins, CBS tech consultant at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Larry, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
It is 8:21, Seattle's Morning News. More celebrities are joining the chorus speaking out against gender inequality in Hollywood. This follows the revelation that actress Michelle Williams was paid $80 a day to reshoot scenes for the movie All the Money in the World. Her co-star, Mark Wahlberg, received a reported $1.5 million. Those scenes had to be reshot because of Kevin Spacey's removal from the film because of the allegations against him. At the time, that decision seemed like a victory for the Me Too movement. Whether that's still the case is now unclear. More from CBS's Diana Goladriga.
I don't have any money. In All the Money in the World, Michelle Williams' character has to beg her former father-in-law, the industrialist John Paul Getty, to pay off her son's kidnappers. Christopher Plummer was recast as Getty. Mark Wahlberg had a supporting role.
I have no money to spare.
What would it take? And what would it take for you to feel secure? More.
Williams quickly agreed to reshoot her scenes and even waived her standard fee.
I was proud and I was excited to be a part of it.
Unlike Williams, Wahlberg's contract did not cover reshoots. According to USA Today, he refused to shoot scenes with Plummer unless he got paid for the additional work. Hollywood's pay gap was a hot topic at the Critics' Choice Awards last night.
Thank you to the producers for paying Niecy and I the same amount of money and Mark Wahlberg $1 million.
Actors walked the blue carpet in support of equal pay.
Ideally hope there's a follow-on story that addresses the imbalance.
No one is better than or less than someone else, and especially if they're in the same movie.
Last year, Forbes said Wahlberg was Hollywood's highest paid actor, making $68 million. The highest paid actress was Oscar winner Emma Stone with $26 million. A-listers Jennifer Lawrence, Amy Adams, and Taraji P. Henson have said they've received smaller paychecks than their male co-stars. Jenna Murata is a film reporter at IndieWire.
People in Hollywood may seem very privileged compared to the rest of us, but if they can spotlight the pay inequality that women in almost all industries experience, then it's important.
Beyond the Goladriga, it is 8:23. Traffic brought to you by a bunch of batteries. Chris Sullivan.
And we continue to see improvement across the map as all of our accidents are going away. The backups are as well. So if you're on the 405...
Republicans and Democrats that the White House is in support of.
There has not been a deal reached yet. However, we still think we can get there. and we're very focused on trying to make sure that that happens. The president's been clear about what his priorities are in that process, and we're going to continue working with members of the House and the Senate, Republicans and Democrats, to make sure that we try to get that deal done.
Now, the deal apparently did in fact save DACA, or the Dreamer Act. They did save that. However, it didn't include funding or enough funding for a border wall, at least an actual border wall. The funds that were there, and I believe it was $1.6 billion, something like that. So not anywhere close to $18 billion that the president asked for, but it would have gone to non-border specific security. So some of the technological advances. So we do not yet have a deal. Whether or not we get a deal before the threat of a government shutdown, it seems slim to none, so it probably won't happen then. But again, you have until March to figure out the Dreamer situation. And if they take their time to come up with a compromise that pleases as many people as humanly possible, or at least as many people as necessary to get this thing passed and signed by the president, then I'm okay with that. You don't have that many people in limbo who are literally being deported as a result of this what's the phrase? Rescinding of the...
Yeah, rescinding.
But I want a better...
DACA rescindment.
I want an adverb, you know?
Rescindation
of the memo that allowed the DACA program to exist in the first place. Do you want to know what Meryl Streep says about Oprah? Which is weird, because Meryl Streep, the BFF to Harvey Weinstein, is now saying Oprah Winfrey, who's also a BFF to Harvey Weinstein, is in a really good position to run for president of the United States. Here she is talking with CNN.
Well, she's certainly raising the bar for whomever decides to run, because they better burn the barn in the same way. Because it's just, we realize how thirsty we are for that sort of return to a passionate adherence to our values and our principles as a country, as a people, men and women. And you can really pull a big army behind you with that kind of rhetoric and real feeling and smarts.
What does Oprah stand for? What does Oprah stand for? I ask that legitimately. Like, I know some things, I'm guessing, but I don't know any of her positions on anything that the president would actually have to deal with. And if you're going to go up there as a business person, cool, it clearly worked for President Trump now, right? I mean, that clearly was a benefit. But if you're going up against someone with a brand who is also strong in the economy, what's that next issue that you're running on? What's your stance on Iran? What's your stance on the minimum wage? I mean, give us something, even in the realm of the economy. Oprah Winfrey's not running for president. She's not. She has no interest, according to the people who know her, running for president. She likes the idea, the thought of it, but here's the deal. Who doesn't? If you tell me, hey, Jason, you want to be president? Okay. Do you want to run? No. I want to run. I can imagine the attack ads now. Jacob's going to sell my story immediately to the National Enquirer or something. Going to sell me down the river in a heartbeat.
I'd be so excited for that expose.
I mean, you're not going to get that much money out of it.
No, I don't need.
You don't know that much stuff
I do
about
it for free.
What do you think you know about me that's going to get you a payday? Nothing.
Again, don't care about the money.
Oh, I'm doing it because of the moral value of this show.
It'd be fun.
You're a jerk. I'll sell you down the river too.
Oh, yeah?
But I hope you never run.
What do you got on me?
I got a well, right now. Here's the deal. You posted a photo of a 13-year-old boy on your Instagram account. That's creepy.
With both his and his mother's permission.
Okay, Roy Moore, asking for permission from the parents before you go ahead and post something of a 13-year-old boy. You creep.
It's unfair.
Hey, oh, you don't like it now, huh? That's a good joke there, right? You're listening to the Jason Rant Show. Hey, it's Jason Rants for Code Fellow, Seattle's coding boot camp. No matter where you are in life, whether you're an Army vet in Tacoma, an accountant in Bellevue, or a nanny in Mukilteo, whether you're a recent college grad or been working for the last couple decades, you need to learn computer programming. I spoke with one...